I'm Dave Ross, and I want to welcome you to week 5 of the best of the Thursday Night Jazz Salon streams. Before I talk about tonight's stream, I also want to let you know that the membership of the LA Athletic Club is rallying together to build up a GoFundMe fund for the LAAC furloughed employees. So if you're willing to take a second, go online to GoFundMe and look for the LAAC Employee Support Fund. Consider making a donation. So tonight's Thursday Night Jazz Salon stream is different somewhat than the rest. Most of the jazz salons rely on the Great American Songbook for their material. But tonight we celebrate the gorgeous music of the Brazilian composer Antonio Carlos Jobim. It's difficult to find Americans playing Jobim's music with the authentic feel that it was originally played with. And so that's why we're particularly lucky to have as our singer and guitarist tonight a woman named Teca Penterich, who lives up in Santa Barbara but is Brazilian down to her toes. And she plays guitar with a Brazilian style and sings these beautiful bossa nova songs with that same original authentic style. We've got a great sax player that rarely appears at the Jazz Salon, Robert Kyle. I think you'll love his playing. He also plays flute. And then we had an expat, a Dutchman who lived in the States for years, lived in Los Angeles, who's a harmonica virtuoso and has really taken over the mantle from Toots Thielmans, who for decades had been the world's greatest jazz harmonica player. And now Tim, I think it's Wevars, has taken on that role. So it's a different night at the Jazz Salon, regardless of whether you're already familiar with a composer of The Girl from Ipanema and Corcovado and his many big hits in the U.S. You'll, I know, enjoy tonight's complete evening of Antonio Carlos Jobim as presented by the great guitarist and vocalist Teca. So have fun, and I hope this whets your appetite for coming back once the Thursday Night Jazz Salon is able to perform live again at the beautiful LA Athletic Club. I'm Dave Ross, a member of the Athletic Club and also the bass player in the band. Thanks so much for listening, and let us know with your comments about what you thought from tonight's Antonio Carlos Jobim concert featuring Teca. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Does anybody like the sound of the saxophone? I mean, isn't that just the most beautiful sound? So let's introduce this gang of thieves here. Um, why don't we start with the sax player? Because I mentioned Stan Getz earlier, and it's kind of like W.C. Fields. You know, do you really want to play after people have been talking about Stan Getz, how great Stan Getz was, and if you're a saxophone player? So this saxophone player is foolish to say yes, foolish enough. And boy, as soon as he starts playing, because it's been probably a year or so since I played with him, you get that. It's just like, I don't know what it's like. It's like ambrosia being poured straight down your throat. You don't even have to swallow. Let me tell you a little bit about him. I've written down some stuff. You've heard that really warm melodic sound that he's got. He's had 10 CDs out under your own name, maybe even more now. I don't know. And you spend as much time arranging and composing, I guess, as you do. It's as important to you as you're playing. So a completely well-rounded musician. Give him a warm welcome. You're going to get to hear him all night. Mr. Robert Kyle on the sax. Now we've got it is so hard to find a percussionist that can play and have it sound as perfect as that Getz Gilberto sound. And I've tried multiple times and finally found the person. And I'm so thrilled she was available to play with us tonight. She's from Brazil. And in addition to being an active player and recording artist and having a private teaching studio, she teaches at a variety of educational programs in LA and is a regular clinician at colleges and universities. So she's, you got nominated at the 58th Grammy Awards in the category of Best Arrangement, Instrument, and Vocals. Well, cool. How cool is that? Clarice Cast on percussion. Wow, man. That's pretty cool. On piano. And now I'll tell you why he was late. First of all, he missed last week's gig. And he had a really good excuse. He was in Spain with his wife having fun. So he got back just a couple of days ago and teaches. Oh, listen, he's going to play some Spanish stuff. He teaches at the Orange County School of Performing Arts, teaches jazz down in Santa Ana. So he gets on the freeway, on the infamous 5 freeway, at 5 o'clock on Thursday. And, it's just such a sad thing. So that's why he sometimes gets here a few minutes late. He grew up here in LA. He's played all over the world. He's played with people like, do you remember L. Ron Hubbard, the famous Scientologist? Well, you may not know, but L. Ron Hubbard was married to a grandmother, actually. Grandmother Hubbard, L. Ron Hubbard, had a baby, Freddie. They named him Freddie, and he became a great trumpet player, Freddie Hubbard. Our piano player has played with Freddie Hubbard, who wasn't a Scientologist. I just want to make that, clear. He played with Larry Carlton, the great jazz guitar player, Hubert Laws, probably the most important jazz flautist. And do you remember Django Reinhardt, who played in Paris, just seminal jazz guitarist? He had a great violin player, Stefan Grappelli. And our piano player played jazz with Stefan Grappelli in Paris. Our pianist played with the great Etta James. So he's played with lots of great people. We love having him here. You're going to give him a welcome all the way back from Spain. Please, a round of applause to the wonderful Mark Massey. Now, we get to the creme de menthe, or the Côte d'Azur, or whatever the right word is. So they had that great Getz Gilberto album, and within months, jazz bands were trying to play bossa novas. Hi, Tim. Around the country. And the result was a Saturday Night Live skit where Bill Murray personified the depths of lounge piano playing by showing how terribly bad Grofa Ipanema can be played if you're an American and you just think it's another jazz song. And so I can tell you that probably no one in this room has had the opportunity to hear this music played the way it was originally meant to be played. The woman who's going to be singing and playing guitar lives in Santa Barbara. It's a long trek for her to come down to the Jazz Salon, so it's been over a year since she's been here. She was a featured artist with the Long Beach Symphony a few years ago when they did a tribute to Brazil. She just got back from playing several gigs in New York with, Roger Kellaway, the great, really legendary jazz pianist Roger Kellaway. He had to come all the way back to New York. You're going to absolutely love her. She goes like Madonna, like Cher. She only needs one name, not like the rest of us. So I want you to give the warmest of welcomes to the great Brazilian guitarist and singer, Teca. So we're going to start with a Jobim song. I talked about how important the ocean was, and this is a song that he actually named after it. It's called Wave.
1, 2, 1. Vou te contar, os olhos já não podem ver coisas que só um coração pode entender. Fundamental é mesmo amor, é impossível ser feliz sozinho, o resto é mar. E é tudo que eu não sei contar. São coisas lindas que eu tenho pra te dar. O amor se deixa surpreender enquanto a noite vem nos envolver. Da primeira vez é veracidade da segunda ao cais, a eternidade. Agora eu já sei da onda que seguiu no mar e das estrelas que esquecemos de contar. Vem de cima, brisa e diz: é impossível ser feliz sozinho. So close your eyes for what a lovely way to be, aware of things your heart alone was meant to see. The fundamental loneliness goes whenever two can dream a dream together. You can't deny. Don't try to fight the rising sea. Don't fight the moon, the stars above, and don't fight me. The fundamental loneliness goes whenever two can dream a dream together. When I saw you first, the time was 3:30. When your lips met mine, it was eternity. But now we know the wave is on its way to be. Just catch the wave. Don't be afraid of loving me. The fundamental loneliness goes whenever two can dream a dream together, 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 together. together, together, together. Thank you very much. Thank you. One more Jobin song. Uh, Actually, the whole night will be a lot of Jobin. This is called Água de Beber, water to drink, and English lyrics by Norman Gamble, who happens to live in my hometown, Santa Barbara. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Your love is rain, my heart's the flower. I need your love, or I will die. My very life is in your power. Will I wither and fade, or blossom in the sky? Água de beber, give the flower water to drink. Água de beber, give the flower water to drink. The rain may fall on distant deserts. The rain may fall upon the sea. The rain may fall upon the flower. Since the rain has to fall, let it follow me. Água de beber, give the flower water to drink. Água de beber, give the flower water to drink. Eu quis amar, mas tive medo. coração, mas do amor guarde um segredo. O medo pode matar o seu coração. Água de beber, água de beber, camarada. Água de beber, água de beber, camarada. Eu nunca fiz coisa tão certa. Entrei pra escola do perdão. A minha casa vive aberta. Abre todas as portas do coração. Água de beber, give the flower water to drink. Água de beber, água de beber, camarada. Thank you.
Okay, so this has these breaks.
Well, Brazilians write about everything. You think about it, there's a song written about a shoe, about this one is about a duck. And the English lyrics by John Hendricks. The duck was dancing by the water, quack, quack. The rhythm made me think he ought to quack, quack. He was dancing to the samba, the samba, the samba. Oh, goose. The goose was gaining, passing by Hong Kong. Stopped and gave the dance a try. Hong Kong. Bossa Nova had him dancing. Then you think, then you swing. A lovely swan, swan ballet. We call her Majesty, and she lose her mind. Hoochie coochie did the swan. She joined the duck and goose and did the samba too. Should have seen the kind of samba she could do. They danced the samba so long, they all fell in the water while they were singing away. Honk, honk, quack, 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 honk, 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 quack, 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 upa-tu. Vinha cantando alegremente, quen, quen, quando o marreco sorridente pediu para entrar também no samba, samba, samba. O ganso gostou da dupla e fez também, quen, quen, olhou pro cisne e disse assim, vem, vem, que o batendo ficará bom, muito bem. Na beira da lagoa foram ensaiar para começar. Tico, tico no fubá. A voz do pato era mesmo desacato. Jogo de samba com o ganso era amado. Eu gostei do final quando caíram na água, ensaiando o vocal. Hom, hom, quen, 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 hom, hom, quen, 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 hom, 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 o pato. dancing by the water, quack, quack. The rhythm made me think he ought to quack, quack. He was dancing to the samba, samba, samba. Oh, goose. The goose was gaining, passing by Hong Kong. Stopped and gave the dance a try, Hong Kong. Bossa Nova had him dancing. The new thing, the new swing. I love we swam, swam by. We all her majesty, and she was enough. Hoochie coo, she did the swam. She joined the duck and goose into the samba too. Should have seen a kind of samba she could do. They danced the samba so long, they all fell in the water while they were singing away. To do Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's see what we do next. Let's do Você Vai Ver. Você vai ver. The next one. Skip berimbau.
No, the one after the voice. Not the voice there.
I don't know how they say it.
So we put it to
8:15 or so.
Oh, okay. So maybe we go back to berimbau.
Okay. What's that? The only place.
One more Jobim song. This is called Você Vai Ver, which means you're gonna see. I mean, um, you're gonna see, you're gonna beg me, and this time I'm not gonna come back to you. Você vai ver, você vai implorar, me pedir pra voltar. Eu vou dizer, dessa vez não vai dar. Eu fui gostar de você, dei carinho, amor pra valer. Dei tanto amor, mas você queria só prazer. Você zombou e brincou com as coisas mais sérias que eu fiz quando eu tentei com você ser feliz. Era tão forte a ilusão que prendia meu coração. Você matou a ilusão, libertou meu coração. Hoje é você que vai ter que chorar. Você vai ver. você vai ver. Você vai implorar, me pedir pra voltar. Eu vou dizer, dessa vez não vai dar. Eu fui gostar de você, dei carinho, amor pra valer. Dei tanto amor, mas você queria só prazer. Você zombou e brincou com as coisas mais sérias que eu fiz quando eu tentei com você ser feliz. Era tão forte a ilusão que prendia o meu coração. Você matou a ilusão, libertou meu coração. Hoje é você que vai ter que chorar, você vai ver. Hoje é você que vai ter que chorar, você vai ver. Você vai ver. Você vai ver. Você vai ver. Thank you. Should we do berimbau now? Yeah. Okay, let's go back to berimbau. The one you played.
What is berimbau?
This song is called berimbau. Berimbau is an instrument used in a Brazilian martial art called capoeira. It looks like an arrow. No, a bow. A bow, not an arrow, a bow. And there is a little coconut thing in the back with one string, and you use a stick and a rock to play. Bem, não trai o amor que ele quer. Seu bem que diz muito que vai, não vai. Assim como não vai, não vem. Quem de dentro de si não sai, vai morrer sem amar ninguém. O dinheiro de quem não dá é o trabalho de quem não tem. Capoeira que é bom não cai. Se o dia ele cai, cai bem. Dizer que já chegou para lutar. Berimbau me confirmou, vai ter briga de amor, tristeza camará, yeah, yeah, camará, yeah, 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 camará, yeah. Berimbau, 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 people say he's a pescador from the city of Salvador. People say he came long ago, but that's all they seem to know. What's your name? You can ask and see. My name matters not as me, but I do have a song to sing. And I look for a boy in the street, and I know what a song can do. Make a wish and I make it true. Birimbau. E capoeira me mandou dizer que já chegou, chegou para lutar. Birimbau me confirmou, vai ter briga de amor, tristeza, camara, yeah, yeah, camara, yeah, 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 camara, yeah. Birimbau, 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 birimbau. De bem não trai o amor que lhe quer seu bem, que diz muito que vai, não vai, assim como não vai, não vem quem de dentro de si não sai, vai morrer sem amar ninguém. O dinheiro de quem não tem é o trabalho de quem não tem. Capoeira que é bom não cai, se um dia ele cai, cai bem. E capoeira me mandou dizer que já chegou, chegou para lutar. Birimbau me confirmou, vai ter briga de amor, tristeza, camara, yeah, yeah, camara, yeah, 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 camara, yeah. Birimbau, 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 birimbau.
That's Tekka, everyone.
Thank you.
Tekka Pederich from
Santa Barbara. Give her a big hand. It's the only place you get to hear this beautiful, beautiful music. That's it. So this is the end of the first set. We had Mark Massey on the piano, the wonderful Robert Kyle on the sax, and Clarice Cast on percussion. I'm Dave Ross on the bass. So thrilled to be playing this music and have all of you here appreciating it. Thank you. That was great, Aaliyah. What the title means? Farmer's Market. Okay, that's good. Okay, good. You're going to get a low grade for translation. I bet this is. Don't tell me. 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 Oh, you, Trouble. So, Tim, it's gone. Well, okay. And it was the lady's guitarist. Tekka, meet Tim. So, here's what's going on here. Here's what's going on here. I mean, this is crazy. The night that we have the person who wrote Mata Hoople and this great oil painter here is the same night that we have Aaliyah come, shows up and plays this wonderful music. And then we have another harmonica player. I mean, probably the entire population of harmonica players in Los Angeles has, risk decreased everywhere. Like the whole table has gotten tilted to the jazz salon. He's from Amsterdam. His name is Tim Welvars, and I've heard of him. He's got an extraordinary reputation. He knows the bossa nova songs, so he's going to add himself to the mix-up here. And see, all these are musicians hugging each other. This is how we talk to each other. We'll do little ear things and stuff like that. So let's bring everybody back up again. On piano, Mr. Mark Massey. Saxophone, Mr. Robert Kyle. On percussion, Clarice Cast. and the wonderful singer-guitarist, Pekka. Where'd Tim go? Tim, are you going to come up and play? You want to just sit down and eat with your girlfriend? You want to where?
Want to.
Can you use the sax player's mic when you need it, or
How is this?
mic, whatever? Okay, so you're good. And you want it on sax
Works.
and the piano.
I have charts there if you want,
No,
or you might
not
know
necessary.
Summer Samba. You know
Sure.
Summer Samba?
Rob, the sax and the piano up there. Is that what
Not the sax.
it's
Piano. I heard about you.
Love this instrument.
Okay. Piano was the other. Okay, what are we doing?
Summer Samba, the second track and the second.
Yep, got it.
I've seen you before perform. I think
Yeah.
in La Ville or something. I don't remember.
Well, you look familiar. I've seen you, I don't know where.
Well, we'll hear each other, that's for sure.
Maybe from Facebook. Maybe from Facebook.
Or from Brazil.
Okay. You good?
Okay.
All good.
You need to see any music or anything? You know him? Oh, cool. Wonderful. Thanks, Mark.
It's been a while. I thought that was human. You look a little different. So do I.
All right, this is Summer Samba.
Nice.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Someone to hold me tight, that would be very nice. Someone to love me right, would be very nice. Someone to understand each little dream in me. Someone to take my hand, to be a team with me. So nice, life would be so nice. If one day I'd find someone who would take my hand and samba through life with me. Someone to cling to me, stay with me right or wrong. Someone to sing to me, some little Sunday song. Someone to take my heart, give his heart to me. Someone who's ready to give love a start with me. Oh yes, that would be so nice. Should it be you and me? I could see it would be nice. Você viu só que amor, nunca vi coisa assim. E passou, nem parou, mas hoje só pra mim. Se voltar, vou atrás, vou pedir, vou falar. Vou dizer que o amor foi feitinho pra dar. Olha, é como o verão, quente o coração. E salta de repente para ver a menina que vem. Ela tem, sempre tem, em cima do olhar. E vai ver, tem que ser, nunca tem quem amar. Hoje sim, diz que sim, já cansei de esperar. Nem parei, nem dormi, só pensando em lhe dar verso. Mas você não vem, vem. E desde então, fala só, diga céu, mas você não vem. Should it be you and me? I could see it would be nice. Should it be you and me? I could see it would be nice. Nice. Yeah, tell me your last name. Tim Welfors
Amsterdam.
from Amsterdam. Pleasure. Stick in. Stay. If you are born in Rio de Janeiro, you are a carioca. Jobim got inspired like he got inspired when he watched a carioca. Then he wrote Girl from Ipanema. And then he got inspired again and he wrote this one. This one is called Ela é Carioca. She is a carioca. 1, 2, 1 and 2. Ela é carioca, ela é carioca, basta o jeitinho dela andar. Nem ninguém tem carinho assim para dar. Eu vejo na cor dos teus olhos as noites do Rio ao luar. Vejo a mesma luz, vejo o mesmo céu, vejo o mesmo mar. Ela é meu amor, só me vê a mim que vive para encontrar. Na luz do teu olhar, a paz que eu sonhei. Só sei que eu sou louco por ela, e pra mim ela é linda demais. E além do mais, ela é carioca, ela é carioca. Carioca, she's a carioca, just see the way she walks. Nobody else can be what she is to me. I look, and what do I see? When I look deep in her eyes, I can see the sea, a forgotten road, the caressing skies. And not only that, I'm in love with her. The most exciting way is written on my lips where her kisses stay. She smiles and all of a sudden the world is smiling for me. And you know what else? She's a carioca, ela é carioca. Thank you. Very nice. I love this instrument. I really do. Ooh, I love it. For this music. Oh,
You know, this is a little bit like at the circus when
it's
the trapeze
the best
does something fabulous and you get all excited, and then, or 4th of July, and then the fireworks just keep getting better. So Tekka has backloaded these songs. And so for the rest of the set, I think they're just going to get more and more amazing. This next one is one of my favorite Jobim songs called Triste.
triste é viver na solidão, na dor cruel de uma paixão. E triste é saber que ninguém pode viver de ilusão que nunca vai ser, nunca vai dar. Um sonhador tem que acordar. Tua beleza é um avião demais pro pobre coração que para pra te ver passar só pra me maltratar. Triste é viver na solidão. Sad is to live in solitude, far from your tranquil altitude. Sad is to know that no one can ever live on a dream that never can be, will never be. Dreamer away, wake up and see your beauty is an aeroplane so high my heart can't bear the strain. A heart that stops when you pass by, only to cause me pain. Sad is to live in solitude. Now his favorite song.
And now we bring her out, the woman you have been waiting all evening for. The song that jazz players across the country have become disgusted with because they play it in the American style of jazz and don't get it. They have no fun playing it. It just seems stupid to them. The notes are so simple. But somebody thought it was a pretty good song back in 1964 when it was named Album of the Year. So here is the girl from Ipanema.
No matter what, I still love this song. Olha que coisa mais linda, mais cheia de graça. Ela, a menina que vem e que passa, o doce balanço caminho do mar. Moça do corpo dourado do sol de Ipanema, o seu balançado é mais mais que um poema, é a coisa mais linda que eu já vi passar. Ah, porque estou tão sozinha. Ah, porque tudo tá tão triste. Ah, a beleza que existe, a beleza que não é só minha, que também passa sozinha. Mas se ela soubesse que quando ela passa, o mundo todinho se enche de graça e fica mais lindo só por causa do amor. Tiny, young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes each one, she passes goes. Oh, when she walks, she is like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gently that when she passes each one, she passes goes. But he watched her so sadly. How can he tell her he loves her? Yes, he would give his heart gladly. But each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at him. It's a young and lovely the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and she passes his miles, but she doesn't see. Só por causa do amor, but she doesn't see. Olha que coisa mais linda que já é de graça. Ela é menina, but she doesn't see. But she doesn't see. I don't get tired of this. I like it. Which one?
How did Marco? Okay.
Just don't make one mistake.
Okay. We're now going to play the hardest song in the world. You know, I told you about the circus. We've gone, now the tightrope is really high. And the worst part is we're throwing away the net and the ropes. This is, Brazilians voted this their most favorite bossa nova of all time. And remember, if you were here when we first started, we talked about how Jobim loved to write songs with extremely simple melodies, so the melody itself would be no more important, and sometimes even less important, than the harmonies that were created around it. And there's no song that does this more beautifully than, in English it's called Waters of March, and in Portuguese it's called...
Águas de Março.
Exactly. Yeah, and you're hardly ever going to hear this sung because it's extraordinarily difficult to sing as well. So I want you to all hold your breaths, fasten your
It's not hard
safety
to
belts.
sing, it's just hard to remember the lyrics.
Yeah. And here's Waters of March.
Jobim wrote both the English and the Portuguese lyrics of this song, and it's really, there's no story. It's just a bunch of images that makes a collage. He got inspired by March is the month in Rio that rains a lot. So he got inspired by watching the rain bringing all kinds of stuff on the sidewalk, like sticks, stones, and all kinds of little things that the water brings. É pau, é pedra, é fim do caminho. É um resto de toco, é um pouco sozinho. É um caco de vidro, é a vida, é sol. É noite, é morte, é o laço, é o anzol. Peroba do campo, é o nó da madeira. Cainga, candeia, é uma tita pereira. Madeira de vento, é o tombo da ribanceira. É um mistério profundo, eu quero ou não quero. É o vento ventando, que fina madeira. É a viga, é o vão, festa da comieira. É a chuva chovendo, a conversa ribeira. Das águas de março, é o fim da canseira. É o pé, é o chão, é a mastradeira. Passarinho na mão, pedra de atiradeira. É uma ave no sol, é uma ave no chão. É um regado é uma fonte, é um pedaço de pão, é o fundo do poço, é o fim do caminho. No rosto desgosto, é um pouco sozinho. É um strep, é um prego, é uma ponta, é um ponto. É um pingo pingando, é uma conta, é um conto. É um peixe, é um gesto, é uma prata brilhando. É a luz da manhã, é o tijolo chegando. É a lenha, é o dia, é o fim da picada. É a garrafa de cana, o estilhaço na estrada. É o projeto da casa, é o corpo na cama. É o carro enguiçado, é a lama, é um passo, é uma ponte, é um sapo, é uma rã, é um resto de mato na luz da manhã. São as águas de março fechando o verão e a promessa de vida no teu coração. É uma cobra, é um pau, é João, é José, é um espinho na mão, é um corte no pé. São as águas de março fechando o verão e a promessa de vida no teu coração. A stick, a stone, the end of the road, the rest of us down by lonesome road. Is a sliver of glass, it is life, is the sun, is knife, is death, is a trap, is a gun. And the riverbank talks of the waters of March. Is the promise of life, is the joy in your heart. A stick, a stone, the end of the road, the rest of us down a lonesome road. A sliver of glass, a life, a sun, a knife, a death, the end of the run. And the riverbank talks of the waters of March. Is the promise of life, is the joy in your heart. Parabapaya, parabapé, parabaya, paparabapé, paparabupé, papapaya, parabé, papapaya, papapaya, papaya, parabundé, parabarabaya. Thank you very much. Nobody got lost. The problem is very similar the whole time. If one gets lost, that's it. Nobody will never find. Quiet nights of quiet stars, quiet chords from my guitar, floating on the silence that surrounds us. Quiet thoughts of quiet dreams, quiet walks by quiet streams, and a window looking on the mountains and the sea. How lovely this is, where I want to be, here with you, so close to me, until the final flickers of life's ember. I who was lost and lonely, believing life was only a bitter tragic joke, have found with you the meaning of existence all my life. Um cantinho, um violão, esse amor, uma canção pra fazer feliz a quem se ama. Muita calma pra pensar e ter tempo pra sonhar. Da janela vence o corcovado, o redentor, que lindo. This is where I wanna be, here with you, so close to me, until the final flickers of life's ember. I who was lost and lonely, believing life was only a bitter tragic joke, had found with you the meaning of existence, the meaning of existence, the meaning of existence. All my life, all my love, to the all my life.
My dad was a piano player, and when I was about 14, he brought home Getz Gilberto, and he put it on the stereo. And it was this amazing moment when I, at 14 years old, and my dad, in his 40s, fell in love at the same time. We fell in love with the same music. And I lost my dad many, 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 many years ago, and to be able to play this music so beautifully, so sublimely, is a precious treat for me. I hope you all enjoyed it. Tekka on guitar and vocals. Nobody like her, folks. Robert Kyle on the sax. Mr. Mark Massey was on the piano. And Clarice Cast on the percussion. And Tim from Amsterdam. What's your last name, man? Welvars. Tim Welvars on the beautiful, beautiful harmonica player.
Dave Ross on bass.
Oh, thank you.
And our special guest there, Ilya.
Yeah, very well done. Man, thank you all so much for joining us tonight at the Jazz Salon. We're going to be back next week. We have Mark coming back on the piano. We'll have the great Ricky Woodard on tenor sax, and Nolan Shahid on trumpet, and the wonderful Barbara Morrison will be just chomping the place down. She'll just be burning it up. So we hope you come back. We're here every Thursday from 7 to 9:30, and so we want you to join us as often as you can.